You know that feeling when you're running on a treadmill that never stops? When every day feels like you're pushing harder, trying more, doing everything right, but somehow you're still in the same damn place you were 6 months ago. Today, I'm gonna tell you why that happens. And it's not what you think. The reason you feel stuck isn't because you're lazy. It's not because you don't want it enough. It's because the system you're living by, the one you probably don't even realize you have, is broken. And a broken system will always give you broken results, no matter how hard you work within it. Do you agree with that? Or does it sound completely wrong to you? If this resonates with you, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because what I'm about to share might change how you see everything you've been struggling with. Picture this, it's Tuesday morning. Your alarm goes off at 6:30, just like it has for the past 3 years. You hit snooze twice, not because you're lazy, but because something inside you is already tired before the day even starts. You drag yourself to the kitchen, make the same coffee, check the same apps, feel the same low-level anxiety creeping in. By 9 a.m., you're at your desk with a to-do list that looks like it was written by someone who hates you. Emails pile up faster than you can answer them. Your phone buzzes with notifications that feel urgent but aren't important. You tell yourself you'll get organized tomorrow. You'll start that new routine next Monday. You'll finally get your life together after this busy period ends. But here's the thing, that busy period never ends. Because you're not living by a system, you're living by whatever demands scream the loudest. You can hear it, can't you? That constant background noise of things undone, promises unkept, goals that keep getting pushed to next week, next month, next year. It's like living in a house where every door creaks, every faucet drips, and you've gotten so used to the chaos that you don't even notice it's driving you insane. Your grandmother didn't live like this. She had systems you couldn't see. She knew when to plant, when to preserve, when to rest. She had rhythms that made sense, patterns that served life instead of consuming it. Her days had a beginning, a middle, and an end. Yours just continue. Think about the old way of doing things. A farmer didn't wake up every morning wondering what to do. Spring meant planting. Summer meant tending. Fall meant harvesting. Winter meant rest and planning. The system was built into the seasons, into the rhythm of life itself. A craftsman didn't reinvent his process every day. He had tools in their place, materials sorted, steps that flowed from one to the next without friction. His workshop was organized not for show, but for flow. Every tool had a home. Every process had a purpose. Even something as simple as Sunday dinner used to be a system. Family gathered. Stories were shared. Connection happened without planning it, without scheduling it, without an app to remind everyone to be present. But we traded those systems for something we thought was better. Flexibility, options, the freedom to choose everything, every moment, every day. And what did we get? The exhaustion of infinite choice, the paralysis of too many possibilities, the anxiety of never knowing if we're doing it right. Your phone has 47 productivity apps. Your browser has 23 tabs open to articles about getting organized. Your Notes app is full of systems you started but never finished. You've tried getting things done, tried the Pomodoro technique, tried bullet journaling, tried morning routines that famous people swear by. But here's what nobody tells you about systems. They're not about the method. They're about the feedback. A system that works gives you information. It tells you when you're on track and when you're drifting. It whispers course corrections before you need to shout them. Watch a person who feels stuck, and you'll see the same patterns everywhere. They start their day reactive instead of intentional. They check email before they check in with themselves. They say yes to requests before they remember what they said yes to yesterday. They have good intentions, but no good structure to hold those intentions. They want to exercise, but they haven't made space for exercise. They want to read more, but they haven't protected time for reading. They want deeper relationships, but they haven't created rituals that build connection. It's like trying to pour water into a cup with no bottom. The effort is real, the water is real, but the container is broken. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? That feeling of working hard but not working smart. Of being busy but not being effective. Of caring about the right things but not having the right structure to actually nurture what you care about. A woman wants to cook healthy meals for her family. Noble goal. But she never planned when she'll shop. Never organized her kitchen for easy cooking. Never batch prepped ingredients when she had time. So every night becomes a stressful scramble. And eventually she gives up and orders takeout. The system failed her, not the other way around. A man wants to write a book. He has the ideas, the passion, the talent. But he never established when he writes, where he writes, how he captures ideas when they come. He waits for inspiration instead of creating conditions for inspiration. He wants the result, but hasn't built the process. It's not about willpower. It's about systems that make willpower unnecessary. Here's the thing that's gonna hurt a little. The reason you're stuck isn't because life is happening to you. It's because you haven't taken control of the structure that holds your life together. You're living by default instead of by design. And I get it. Taking control feels overwhelming when everything is already overwhelming. Building systems feels like one more thing on the list when the list is already too long. But what if I told you that the overwhelm you feel isn't from having too much to do? What if it's from having no reliable way to handle what you have to do? Think about it. When you know exactly how something gets done, when you have a process that works, that thing stops stressing you out. It becomes automatic. It flows. It gets handled without drama, without decision fatigue, without the mental energy drain of figuring it out every single time. Your body has systems for breathing, for healing, for regulating temperature. You don't consciously manage those systems, but they keep you alive. Your life needs systems too, for managing energy, for processing information, for maintaining relationships, for moving toward what matters. But here's the part that's going to challenge everything you think you know about getting organized. The system isn't about being rigid. It's not about becoming a robot or losing spontaneity or killing creativity. Real systems, the ones that actually work, they're about creating space for what matters by handling what doesn't matter automatically. They're about building feedback loops that keep you connected to your own values, your own priorities, your own sense of what's working and what isn't. You think successful people are just more disciplined than you, but that's not it. They've built systems that make the right choices easier than the wrong choices. They've structured their environment, their time, their attention in ways that support who they want to be instead of undermining it. They don't rely on motivation. They rely on design. So what would it look like if you stopped trying harder and started building better? What if instead of adding more willpower, you added more structure? Maybe it starts small. Maybe it starts with one area of life where the chaos is costing you the most. Your morning routine, your workspace, your weekly planning, your bedtime ritual. Pick one, just one. Not because you don't have other areas that need work, but because a system that works in one area teaches you how to build systems that work in other areas. And here's the beautiful thing about real systems. They don't feel like systems. They feel like life flowing the way it's supposed to flow. They feel like coming home to yourself instead of constantly trying to catch up to yourself. You start to notice things earlier. You respond instead of react. You have margin for what matters because you're not spending all your energy on what doesn't. Your grandmother would recognize this. She'd nod and say, "Well, of course. That's just how things get done." Not because she was smarter than you, but because she lived in a world that still remembered. Structure serves freedom, not the other way around. Maybe the reason you feel stuck isn't because you're in the wrong place. Maybe it's because you don't have a reliable way to move through the place you're in. Think about that. Sit with that. Let it settle, because the life you want isn't waiting for you to become someone different. It's waiting for you to build something different. Something that works with who you are instead of against who you are. Something that finally makes sense. If this is hitting home for you, subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. There's more where this came from. And hey, I'll see you in the next video that's gonna show up right there on your screen. Until then,